Hello everybody, welcome back to the Funny Old Game video update edition thingy, part 4, where we're looking at European football, specifically the Champions League, where we saw the round of 16 second leg matches take place almost a month ago. Just about getting round to it now. And where else could we start but the game that the world was waiting for? Well, the other game the world was waiting for, Manchester United versus Real Madrid at Old Trafford, where Real Madrid won by 2-1 to advance 3-2 on aggregate to the quarter-finals. This game was not without controversy. Wayne Rooney wasn't picked. That was a controversial starting point, sparking loads of rumours for the following days that he would almost certainly be leaving United now, and then the club came out and said, not happening. So we'll see what happens there. But the real controversial incident was when Nani was sent off for essentially dangerous play when his foot may have touched Arbeloa in a high position. It was more the fact that Arbeloa decided that following the connection it would be a good time to do several roly-polies, his reaction almost certainly causing Nani to be sent off in a challenge which most people agree was ridiculous. The decision to be sent off was ridiculous. The challenge itself was unfortunate and not really all that dangerous in the view of most professional pundits, except for former Manchester United captain Roy Keane, who continues to just build on that wonderful relationship he has with Sir Alex ever since he left the club. United crashing out then, unable to stop a resurgent Madrid who, to be fair to them, changed the tactics once they had the man advantage and won the game. Luka Modric and former Red Devil Cristiano Ronaldo with the goals after Sergio Ramos' own goal had given United the lead prior to Nani's sending off. So tough luck United, and Madrid through to the next round. Also through Borussia Dortmund, 3-0 winners over Shakhtar Donetsk, winning 5-2 on aggregate to make it to the quarter-finals themselves. They are not the only German side there. Bayern Munich also joining them. However, they did it almost the hard way against Arsenal. Of course, they were 3-1 up from the first leg, and they proceeded to lose 2-0 at home to Arsenal. They went through on the away goals rule, with it finishing 3-3. However, they'll be concerned by the fact that this Arsenal side turned up and very nearly caused one of the upsets of the season. For the second time in a row, Arsenal have fallen just a goal short of making it through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League after a horrendous thrashing in the first leg. But, consistency for Wenger is good for him. If Arsenal can match their Premier League exploits and finish third, I'm sure he'd be fine with that. From the previous season, I should add. Bayern Munich just about making it through, and with that victory, it ensured that no English side were in the quarter-finals, and that's the first time that's happened since 1996. Indeed, there were no British sides for us to continue following, because Juventus finished the job off against Celtic, winning 2-0 in Italy for a 5-0 aggregate win. So Juventus cruising through easily to the next round. Also cruising through, after losing the first leg, Barcelona. They beat AC Milan 4-0 at home after losing 2-0 over in the San Siro. This was a really surprising result, given just how good Barcelona were in this match compared to how they were in the previous match. A real Jekyll and Hyde over the two legs. They were appalling in the San Siro. They were absolutely brilliant at home, and it was a sensational turnaround of fortunes. So Barcelona making it through. Also joining them, along with Real Madrid, are a third Spanish side, Malaga. 2-0 winners over Porto, overturning the 1-0 loss they suffered in the first leg, which means that they are through to the quarter-finals as well. They're trying to extend their European stay this season because they're not going to be allowed to play next season because of financial irregularities. So Malaga continuing their fairy tale journey, also through in a fairy tale journey type theme, Galatasaray. They beat Schalke by 3-2 to advance 4-3 on aggregate. Didier Drogba and Wesley Sneijder again impressing, and so too Burak Yilmaz, the ever-scoring Turkish player, puts Galatasaray through to the quarter-finals, and joining them finally is Paris Saint-Germain, the French billionaire, I suppose, powerhouse now. They drew 1-1 with Valencia in France to advance 3-2 on aggregate, with Zlatan Ibrahimovic serving the first of his 2-game bans. The second of those 2-game bans will be served against his old team, Barcelona, because Paris Saint-Germain were drawn to play the Catalan side in the quarter-finals. So you would say Barcelona would be favourites, particularly as the big Zlatan will miss the first leg with that suspension. However, a lot of people, including Spanish football journalist Sid Lowe, are currently of the opinion that of the sides remaining in the competition, PSG may just be the most well set up to prevent Barcelona advancing to the semi-finals. So we'll watch this space, see what happens. But of course, it should be pointed out Barcelona haven't failed to reach the semi-finals of the competition, this competition, since 2007, so good luck to the French side there. Also taking place in the quarterfinals, Real Madrid are taking on Galatasaray, so a big match there. So, you know, Galatasaray, attempting their own Galacticos type project, are taking on the original Galacticos. Not the original Galacticos, because, you know, Puskás has sadly passed away, and Di Stefano is in his 80s. And not even the other Galacticos, I suppose, because with first Ronaldo, who's Fat Ronaldo as well, and Roberto Carlos, but the newer Galacticos, the ones that are not going to win the Spanish title, but have certainly been resurgent in the last couple of months under Jose Mourinho. Elsewhere, Juventus will be in action against Bayern Munich in what is probably the tie of the round. Both of these sides are top of their respective leagues. They both play very impressive football, and I personally am really looking forward to seeing this game. And in the final draw, of course, it means that Borussia Dortmund will be in action up against Malaga. Could be a very entertaining game to watch there. I would say at this stage, if you are looking to pick a winner for the Champions League, my money might just be on Real Madrid. You know, they've got potentially the easiest draw, although a trip away to Turkey is never easy, but also they don't have to focus on the league campaign because Barcelona have got it sewn up. That said, Barcelona don't have to focus on the league campaign either because they've got it sewn up, so we will wait and see what happens there. We've also got Europa League football, which we'll quickly whiz through because that competition is down to the quarterfinals as well, and unlike the Champions League, it's got English sides aplenty. Chelsea, Tottenham and Newcastle all still in the competition. Chelsea advancing 3-2 on aggregate over Steaua Bucharest after winning 3-1 at Stamford Bridge. Newcastle beat Arzi Makhachkala 1-0 on aggregate thanks to a 1-0 win over the Russians at home. Fantastic result for them. They're in the quarterfinals. So too are Tottenham. Tottenham, despite trying to throw it away against Inter Milan, because they won 3-0 over at home, they lost 4-1 to Inter Milan at the San Siro, but went through on that singular away goal. So Spurs still in the competition. Spurs will take on FC Basel in the quarterfinals. The Swiss side who advanced by beating Zenit St. Petersburg 2-1 over the two legs. That is who Tottenham will be playing, and I think Spurs will fancy their chances to make the semi-finals. Even though Basel did knock Manchester United out of the Champions League the year before, I think Spurs are a much better team than Basel. Chelsea, likewise, are in action against less favoured opposition. Rubin Kazan, the Russian side making it to the last 8. Rubin have been doing pretty well. They beat Levante in the last round. They did knock out Atletico Madrid the round before, so you know they're pretty good against Spanish sides. How they'll go against an English side with a currently Spanish manager, we'll have to wait and see, but you'd have to say Chelsea favourites there. Newcastle, meanwhile, have been thrown a match against my tip to win the competition this year, Benfica, the Portuguese side who made it through 4-2 on aggregate over Bordeaux, are the Geordies' opponents. The other quarter-final sees Turkish side Fenerbahce take on Lazio. Fenerbahce got through 2-1 aggregate over Victoria Pleasant, while Lazio thrashed the German side Stuttgart 5-1 over the two legs. So that is it for the Europa League. Okay, there's time for one more video where we'll look ahead to the FA Cup replay between United and Chelsea and maybe wrap up all the other business. So everybody, please stay tuned.